Hello all and welcome to Well Crochet it again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are going to be making this gorgeous little bag. I know it's a bag with a statement. It certainly looks like it, doesn't it? But those of you who have been following me would know that I've been doing a stash busting series and I made the mandalas and rectangles and squares and triangles and all sorts of funny things, and I decided to make something with those pieces, but yours truly made it, edited it, popped it on the computer and left it there and forgot all about it. So I finished off the editing just recently and here it is. The final project is finished. In actual fact, it's not complete yet because I still wanted to do some shoulder straps and I wanted to line the bag as well. But for this part of the series, it's complete. Now, when you're using your bag like this or wearing it like this, you need to have the shoulder straps. If you don't like shoulder straps, because a lot of people don't, you undone these buttons, and yours truly is trying to do this with one hand whilst I hold the camera because my particular stand couldn't fit the whole item in. So you pop the buttons, you pop the top, oh gosh, if I can get them over there. Okay, there you go. You pop it up there. Oh, gosh. And there you go. So the actual bag can be worn like that. Say when you're out at a craft fair and you want to crochet while you're walking, or is that just me? It's probably just me. You'll have it like that. Or if you can't wear shoulder straps and you want to wear a bag or you want to carry a bag, you pop your arm in there and you carry it like a lady. Like a lady. Anyway, not that I'm saying shoulder straps aren't like a lady. Be careful, Mary. Okay, I'm sorry. I do get sidetracked through my tutorials, don't I? Anyway, let's get back to the video. You will need your 4.5 hook, you will need your scissors, you will need your darning needle, weaving, sewing needle, whichever you want to call it. I'm trying not to rush because the actual tutorial is very, very long, okay? So what I've done is I've broken it up into parts. It might be 3 parts, it might be 4, I'm not sure. If you are new to crochet, this is going to be challenging, okay? If you are a newbie, it will be challenging. Making the pieces will be challenging enough, let alone trying to attach it all together and add buttons and get measurements right and the rest of it. If you're not sure how to do stitches or any of the stitches you see here today, then I have a whole lot of tutorials that will be put in the description box down below where you can practice them and come back to us. The tutorials for these items, the mandala and the rectangle, they will also be in the description box down below. When you've created them, come back to us and you can start this bag. You'll need to do 2 mandalas, okay, 2 circles, okay, so you can put the 2 together and 1 rectangle. Now, before you do this tutorial, go ahead and do the 2 mandalas and the rectangles. Those links will be the first 2 links you see down below. Do them, come back to us and then do this tutorial. Catch you soon. Okay, for the purpose of the tutorial, you will need your pieces, your rectangle and your granny circles or mandalas, if you will, or mandalas, whatever you want to call it. You will need your size 4.5mm hook that we've been using. We're going to use this one today. You will need your matching yarn, and today we're using the actual sky blue that we used for this. We're going to use the sky blue. You will need your scissors, yes. You will need this horrible pesky darning sewing weaving needle, okay, and you will need 2 stitch markers. Now stitch markers, it doesn't matter what you use. You could use these kind, you could use the kind that just twirl around, you could use even a piece of lighter thread. It doesn't matter, okay, but you will need the stitch markers because we're going to be doing a little bit of counting. Now you will need to work on excuse me, you will need to work on your right sides, okay? For this whole tutorial, we'll be working on the right side of everything. Okay, so the right sides are, okay, I'm going to show you that so you know the difference. Your right side, when you're looking at it, see those little V's? That's what they look like, little V stitches. They're facing you. Your wrong side, which is the other piece there, that's facing that way. So the wrong side, the V's face downwards, and the right side, the V faces towards you. Even after you've blocked, it still looks that way, like washed and blocked. If you're not sure what washed and blocking is, those links will be in the details down below. Also, for the purpose of the tutorial today, you will need to know how to do half double crochets. I'm not sure if we've done that throughout the series, I can't remember, but that link will also be in the details down below. I will show you slowly the first few stitches anyway, so you'll probably get it. If you need some practice, go ahead and practice and come back to us. If you have not done these pieces that you see here, those links will be in the details down below as well. It is part of a series, so they'll probably all be together on your playlist when you log on to my YouTube channel. Okay, so it'll have its own little playlist, and this whole series will be together. Okay, what else can I tell you? Nothing. I think we should get started now. We're going to start with closing up the bag first. Okay, so you'll need to grab your stitch marker, sewing the thread, anything you want to use. And you can just pop it anywhere you like, the first one. So I'll pop it, say, there. And it's got to go in between the cluster sets, okay? So we'll pop it just in between that cluster set right there. And that's your first stitch marker, okay? With the second stitch marker, I want you to count, let's get a nice little close-up here, 12 cluster sets that way. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then you grab your second stitch marker and you pop it in that space there. Too easy so far, isn't it? Now, with your first stitch marker, I apologise, you should have actually popped it through any one of the other cluster spaces on the other side. And then you count 12 on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You grab your other stitch marker that's still hanging off that one from before, open it up, well, you should have left it open in the first place, and then just pop it through to the back of that one. So now your two pieces are together, okay? You may notice I've got some stitch markers down here. Now these ones here, the only reason they're here, and I'll tell you why, and I'll show you, is because that was where I first started the chain up 3 when we did the granny circle, and the same with that side. The only reason I like them to be down below is because for looks, it's nice not to see that stitch. So say if the stitch was here, like if those 3 chains were there, you would notice it. You couldn't notice it much. That's just me being a bit of a stickler, and I'd like to keep it down below where it's all out of the way, and that's all. That's the only reason why it's there. Okay, so now that you have your two sides together, both of your wrong sides are together. Okay, that's probably what I didn't mention before. So your wrong sides are together, and your right side is facing you this way, and when you turn it over, your right side is facing you this way. Okay, easy so far? Of course it is. Now this is the fun bit. Okay, if I can get my thread right, we can start. All right, now with your hook, okay, you've got your two spaces together there. Hold them together. Pop your hook in that space right there. Now this is the only time you'll be putting your hook in the space. For the rest of the tutorial, they'll be going in the stitches, okay? And towards the end on this side, they'll go in the space. And that's just to keep it in place and strong, okay? To make the front bit and the back bit a little stronger. And why have I got a knot in my yarn? I don't know. Let's give it a cut and get rid of it because I can't be bothered getting it undone. Okay, all right. So you pop your thread over your hook. Probably too close, isn't it? Sorry, guys. So you pop your thread over your hook and you pull up a loop. Okay, so far that's what you've got. Now your tail end, I'm going to make it a little bit longer because I like a lot to weave in. You pass it to the front, hold it in place, just locks it in place. It's kind of like knots it up for you, okay? And then you put your, your yarn over the hook and pull up a loop. Give it a nice tug, and that's just going to hold it all in place for you. Now what you want to do is do a normal half double crochet in the same space. So you're just going to put, half double crochet is yarn over hook, pop it through the space, the whole space, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook. You should have 3 loops on your hook. So yarn over hook, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. All right, and you can pop that little thread at the back if you want. Okay, now normally you would just crochet into the next stitches, but we're going to go into that stitch as well. It's going to keep this edge bit firm. So you're going to do a normal half double crochet. You're going to pop it in that stitch right there. Yep, the first one. Then you need to go to the back of that and pop it, oh, it's getting blurry, sorry, into the very first stitch on that side as well. Be a little bit tight this part, only because it's already got that half double in the space. All right, pull the loop through and complete your half double. So it looks like that for now, but that's okay because we want that stitch to be nice and tight there. Now, you're going to do half doubles in every stitch across. So there's your second stitch there, and make sure you marry up the stitch at the back. So if you're not sure, turn it over, because I've actually split yarn doing it the other way. If you're not careful, you can split that yarn and finish off your half double there. Okay, yarn over hook, pop it in that first loop, the last loop I should say, then yarn over hook, pop it through there. Okay, now ordinarily, I know a lot of people do it, they pop one in the hole, the chain space or the gap there. I don't do that. I just pop it in the very next stitch there. Okay, you can do it the other way if you like, by all means, but I'm trying to keep in sync with the rest of the pattern. So pop it into the next stitch. I'm going nice and slowly for you. Okay, pop it into the next stitch. There you go. So making sure you're collecting that stitch at the back. Okay, otherwise you're going to have a hole in your bag. All right, so there you go. Pop it into that stitch there, which is the very first stitch on the other side. Okay, so all you need to remember is these posts here, they've got to marry up at the back. The post at the back has to be married up with the post at the front. That's what these little posts are called, posts. Okay, pop it through the second post and through the second at the back. Now if you're confident and you want to fly through this, by all means go right ahead. Okay, I'm just going to do one more here and then show you what it looks like. Pop it down and I'll show you. And then I'll show you what to do when you get to that knotted point, and you'll know what I mean when I get there. Okay, so that's what you have so far. Your bag is closing up. Let me open it a little bit so you can see. That's what you have. All right. If you wanted, and a lot of people do, you could do this stitch on the inside of the bag. So you turn it inside out, do it inside, and then turn it up the other way, and you get a neat edge rather than a bobbled edge. But I think the bobbled edge here makes the bag look, it sort of highlights the bag a bit, makes it look nice. Okay. Now, when you get to the stitch where you've got these two, and I'll show you what I mean when we take it undone. Don't need to on any more these ones. Don't take yours undone. This is the bottom of the bag. This is something I've got going at the bottom. Get it nice close up so you can see. All right, there we go. So remember when we first started doing our mandalas, we had that little chain up 3. Okay, a lot of people, and I know I was also tempted to just put a double, half double like that, because I didn't want to go through that stitch. But it's really important to go through the stitch, because that'll make the whole pattern look different if you don't. Okay, so really all you have to do is find the stitch in there, like so. Get to the opposite side in there, like so. I don't think mine married up, by the way, but it doesn't matter. And pop it through there. And that's your normal half double, like you would any other stitch. Okay, it just looks a little different. So, oh, there's the other one on that side. We're going to do that now too. Okay, so you go into that very second stitch right there. Don't forget that stitch. It does look a little weird there, but don't forget that stitch. Okay, all right, beautiful. Then you've got your next stitch, which is there. And there's the other side, the opposite side. Doesn't matter that it didn't marry up. I'm not really worried about that. Actually, I think I've gone over the opposite side. My mistake. But anyway, you can't tell. Let me just pull this undone a little bit. There. You can't tell that that is the very first stitch we used. Don't be tempted to go in that space. And I know it does look a bit weird if you don't. But don't be tempted to go in there because it'll make your whole bag look a little bit out of shape. Okay? So just keep going on as you would any other way. I'm surprised the other one's not opposite there. Huh. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Now, continue doing this until you get to your stitch marker and I'll meet you up. Alright, when you get to the part where you're up to your stitch marker, alright, so what you need to do here is you need to put it in that very stitch before the stitch marker. We'll make sure you get through both those layers. Oh, I nearly made a mistake there. Already, I nearly made a mistake. So you do your last half double, then you've got your stitch marker. You could have taken that out when you got to that area, but that's fine. Better to take it out right now. Okay, now, because we've done our last stitch there, we need to, okay, now how do I explain it? We've done a stitch in there, all right? So we need to put a stitch into that last one before we put it into the gap. Okay, so we've popped it into that last stitch we just did. Now we're going to pop it in around all of it. Whoops, don't split the yarn behind, and do your normal half double. Okay, so what I want you to do now, before you can chain and pull it up. You're going to cut that in a minute, but don't cut it yet. Now the reason we don't want you to cut it is because we want to check that everything is perfect. Now yours might bubble just that tiny little bit, but it's very minimal bubble. Okay, if we were using the single crochet, which is what you should be using, it will go a bit like that and it turns up a little bit and it's really yucky. So I thought we'll do the half double just for fun. Now this is correct, yes, but I want you to turn it over and I want you to check the back, that you didn't actually split some of that stitch at the back, which can happen. And even now as a professional, I have messed that up as well. That's that side. And now we're just going to check the back of the rest of the side. Oh, it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Can't wait till it's finished. Oh, I get very excited. Okay, that little thread that you pulled up before, what I want you to do, snip, pull it through. We're going to weave in ends, but we're going to do them later because I want to continue the rest of the tutorial. Oops, oh sorry about that. The rest of the tutorial. All right, so that is that. We are going to put half doubles in here, but not until after we add the handle, or when it's time to add the handle. Okay, we're going to work on the handle now. Yay, this is going to be fun. Okay, all right, now your best bit to work on the handle is find a corner, any corner you like. You don't need your stitch markers for that. No, just pop it in any corner you like, on the right side facing you. This is the right side, not the wrong side, which is all that bubbled look. The right side needs to be facing you. Remember, these things are facing you. All right, here we go. Grab your thread. We are using the blue. Now, a lot of you were thinking when I first started the tutorial, oh no, the bag has got a blue border and the handle hasn't. Well, here it comes. Pretty cool, huh? So with the bag, we're going to pull up a loop. Easy. I mean the bag, the handle. Pull up a loop. Bring your thread over so you can just lock it into place. And we are going to put in half double crochets. But first we'll chain so we can lock that thread in place. And we're going to put half double crochets, 3 half double crochets in this corner. So 1, 2, and 3. Notice how I'm crocheting over that thread, but yours truly, as you know, I'm a bit of a stickler. I will weave that in a couple of times as well. Why? Because I'm just fussy like that. We are going to, and this is the best bit, you're going to love this bit. We're going to put a half double firstly in that first bit, that first one you have right there. Okay, we are going to put a half double in every stitch like we did with the bag. There, and remember that space there, we're not going to put it through the space, we're going to put it through that first space right there, see? So don't put it over that thread, put it into the actual stitch, okay? And half double in the next, and the next, and the next, and we're going to see how fast yours truly can crochet. So what we do, I want you to keep going all the way around, and you can use that accent too if you like. Keep going all the way into the round or rectangle and get to here, and I shall meet you up. Oh, and don't forget, when you get to your corners, your last stitch, or let me go up here, your last half double will go there, and then you will put 3 half doubles in the corner. So half double crochet in every stitch, 3 into the corner, and when you get to the corner and you've done your 3 in there, remember that is actually a stitch right there, so you must put your first half double crochet in that stitch after your 3. Now if you want, what we could do, I might, for those of you who are a bit more confident, you can actually go ahead a little bit, but if you're not, stick around for a few seconds. I will finish this row so we can get to that corner. I should have just finished a row in the first place. I wasted your time there, my apologies. Okay, let's just finish off the row. It's not that far. Okay. You're probably all wondering what I'm going to do with the other pieces in the tutorial. That's the very next tutorial to come, and we're talking the granny square. If you've been following the theme, we've got the couple of granny squares, we've got the granny triangle, a couple of granny triangles, we've got I don't know what else we've got. I have to have a look. We've got the metered or mitered square, whichever you want to call it. Oh, this one is the stitch, so we're going to be careful how we're going to do this. There, okay. And one in there. That's the first chain that we started off with, you know, the chain 3 when we did our rectangle. Now yours truly is crocheting extremely tightly, so it's pulling a little bit. Now don't be so tight like me. Okay, because this is the first, and that's probably something to show you. This was our first chain 3 that we came up with when we did our rectangle. So we've got to get into that space right there, make sure we haven't split the yarn, and we haven't, okay. Alright, so we're coming up, that you probably may not be there, who knows, but you might be. So we're coming up to that first corner. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Alright, first corner, we put 3 half doubles in there. 1, 2, 3. Alright, when we get to the corner, now a lot of people just do their half double into that next stitch, but no, you must put it in that very first one that you come to. Otherwise it will not be even and it will not match up. Okay, so that's all you need to know for this part. Alright, continue down there, 3 half doubles all the way through there, 3 half doubles all the way through to there, and stop right there and I'll meet you up. Right, here we are at the end of this row. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we've got 2 more half doubles to do, which is 1 in there and 1 in there. Now I need to slip stitch at the very top of this first. I might have to, let's have a quick look. There it is. Not that one there, but there, just before that stitch, because that's actually the first one. So we're going to slip stitch in there and pull it through, and you're done. Okay, so now you do a little chain. Get your trusty scissors, give it a snip, and that's the end of that row. Now, all right, let's go back to our bag. Okay, it's going to be like that, but just on one side, because the other side I'd like to be able to put buttons. Okay, and I haven't shown you the buttons yet. They may be on in the promo. They may have been on the promo. I don't know if I've showed you at the beginning. It's only because I haven't really decided what buttons to put on. The promo will be getting done after I finish this one. Okay, we probably could have left that thread on, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to weave in Yes, yes, we better do it. We better weave in that end. Yes, 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 we have to. All right, so we have 2 ends here to weave in. We crocheted over this thread, remember? Or I did anyway. So what I'm going to do is weave it back the other way in a different section though. So if I go back in there like that, I'm just going to unravel it. So what I'm going to do is split that yarn a little bit and then weave it backward and forward. Now this is the back of the rectangle. The front is there. See how the V's are facing me? That's the front. So we want to weave it in at the back so it's not noticeable. And if you can see the needle here, just here, then you've woven it in wrong. All right. So we don't want to see that needle. We just want to pull that through there. All right. And then we're going to go back the other way. That is the 3rd time because we crocheted over it once, sewed it in one way the 2nd time, and went back the other way, completely different area as well. Make sure you can't see it at the front. When you can't, pull it through, and there you go. So now, if you want to go in again, you can. I'm going to leave it there. I think 3 is plenty. So just give it a gentle tug, and it's gone. Okay. Now that you've done it 3 times, that's not going to come undone. This one here, on the other hand, is a little bit more difficult to hide. Okay. But we're going to try anyway. Again, we want to crochet it so it's inside, so it won't be noticeable. Now, I'm thinking of, in the future, possible handles on the bag as well. Even though this is its short handle, I'm thinking of long handles. So as you can see, I've kind of weaved that in and out there. So you can't see the needle, because if you can, you'll be in trouble there because you've got your red. So I've woven that in and out there. Give it a gentle tug because we don't want it to come undone. Okay. Now back the other way. Again, so we can't see it there. Just looks a little tight at the moment, but that will sort itself out later, especially when you wash the bag. And yes, you do want to wash your bag before you use it. I know a lot of people don't wash the items before they use it. They just go ahead and use it. I think it's very important to wash your items, even if you don't want to put a lot of soap in or detergents or whatever, but it is very important that you wash them. Give it a trim. I've done my 3, backward and forward, and there you go. All right, it's a little tiny bit noticeable. Oops, that's the way. That it's different than the other corners, but that's going to be hidden inside your bag anyway. All right, it'll be hidden in there, and the other one will come over. We are going to attach your rectangle onto your granny circle. Now, if you remember, we left 12 of these in here. So you go that way, dun, 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 dun. That is the middle, all right? So if that's the middle, you go back 1, 2, 3. There's your stitch marker, so you go back 1, 2, 3, which is there. Just put it through all the thicknesses at the moment because I just want to show you something. All right, now count. Can't remember how many we had here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at the end of it there. There. So it really doesn't matter whether you put it there, there, or there. You know, you can move them over. Just so long as you keep it kind of centered. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's not going to be exactly centered, okay? You can have a look and try it like that. It doesn't really matter, okay? As long as it's semi-centered. I don't know if that makes any sense. Not completely centered, all right? Because there's nothing worse than you have it like that and there's the gap over here. It doesn't make sense. But if you have it there, you open it up and it's right in the middle. So it's roughly centered. Okay. All right. what I wanted to do was, because we're going to, just the way we did here, we're going to do the half doubles on top of it. All right, so we're going to do it this way. Okay, we don't need to pull it through all thicknesses because we're only doing one side for now. Okay, you decide which side's your back side or which side's your front. It doesn't really matter. They should both be exactly the same if you've made them the same. But if you've got a faulty one that you think is a little faulty, you can, you know, turn it around. Me, I'm just going to keep going, so I think everything's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to find, here you have your 3 half doubles. Oh, I'm so far away, I do apologise there. You've got your 3 half doubles there, all right? We are going to put it in, not the first half double in that corner, but the second half double there. Just find 1 stitch on that side, okay? Because we mentioned that it's not going to go all the way across, okay? It's not going to be exactly even, all right? So there. Then you can leave the rest if you want, because that's, you just need one side attached, okay? So remember that the bottom piece we don't want to touch. We just want to crochet these pieces here together. All right, so what you do, find your first one you did, put it through there, put your hook through there, sorry, put your hook through both those sides, take your stitch marker undone, grab your blue thread, okay, and we're going to start off firstly, obviously, with a loop. So you pull the loop through, grab this thread, bring it over just to lock it in place. Remember that locking in place, okay? Okay, so we're going to chain, a little bit too far, sorry, chain 1, a double crochet in the same stitch, okay? Because we want to keep it in sync with everything else. You can drop that thread if you want. Now, then you put a double crochet in every stitch that you see. Now, it's a little different because this one is kind of looking solid on this side, whereas this one, you look like you have stitches. So they need to go in every stitch. And then I don't know if that makes any sense. But every stitch. So what are you going to use your bag for? I know that I'm thinking I may sell it online, or I may gift it to a young one. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to be using my bag for. So it's just a little something to think about while you're working. In each stitch. Remember, if you want to leave any comments, do so in those comments things down below, the comment section down below. Don't forget, you can flash your work over on Facebook, on my Facebook page if you like. That's Crochet Designs. Okay. Those links, by the way, will be in the details down below. I also have an Instagram account as well. What else can I tell you that is going to dawdle for time? Okay. All right. So we've had nasty thunderstorm weather here in Melbourne earlier. We missed all that because I had to stop recording to get some plumbing work done. We're getting a new stove in, or a new oven in, I should say. So we missed a lot of that storm because of that. All right, we're nearing the end. Now, this is the end part where we have chained. Remember that little tight chain stitch right there, the slip stitch? We still need to get in there, okay? It's going to be very tight, but we need to get in there. Excuse me. We need to get in there. Oh, that worked. It's not too bad. Okay. And then you've got your next stitch there. Okay, now we're on the corner. Remember, we're going to do, there's 3 double crochets in the corner, so it's 1, 2, 3. And what we're going to do is put it in the first one, there, and the second one, but not the third. All right, and that's there. So let's just have a look at what we've done. Blow that out a bit. Whoops, not in, out, Mary. Get it right. Okay, that's what you have so far. All right. Now, when we're finished here, I will be putting a second row. I might actually do a row of single crochet actually around the whole bag. Okay, and that just kind of locks all this into place. See that there? It'll lock that into place. So it's tighten it up, make it a bit stronger so it won't come undone. All right, easy. Now, the reason I did it this way is to keep it in sync with the edge. Okay, easy, beautiful. Or I may just do another row of half doubles across to there. I haven't decided yet. It's funny, I make these things up as I go along, don't I? Well, it's my bag, I can do what I like. Okay, so, all right, we are going to put a loop through there and cut. We got a few ends to weave in later, don't we? Yes. So, actually, initially, if you think about it, the bag is actually finished, really, if you think about it. But we do want to have it a little bit more secure, all right? So we are going to put some sort of border. I'm thinking half doubles because I actually would like to keep these in sync with the half doubles that are here. Because remember, we put half doubles around the bag, but we didn't actually put half doubles here. Well, we're going to do that now, okay? And you're going to start right here. So you're going to join your yarn in there. I'll just have a quick look close up. Maybe not. We might actually just join it in. Just give me one moment. All right. As I said, we were going to slip stitch it there, and we still are. But what I wanted to do, I'm a little bit hesitant about, oh, I've just lost my, here we go, my needle. A little bit hesitant about all these little ends that are lying around. I'm wondering whether we should weave them in now. And I might just do at least this one here. You know where your bag is? Oh, that's too far away. Just where the handle and the bag is. I'm thinking we will stitch that in. Okay? So what we're going to do with this, because this is on the outside, we don't want it to show. So you're just going to get this needle and put it anywhere you want and pop it through the inside of the bag, which is the wrong side of the bag, okay? And you can weave this in any way you like. You can weave it this way, you can weave it this way. I prefer to weave it this way, especially if I decide to line the bag. If I do decide to line the bag, what will happen is the lining will go up here or even just under here, so I can sew over that with the lining. Does that make any sense? So we'll come through there and down there, all the way down, like that, and in there. Just watch the back way, okay? So in there, and there you have it. We'll just go back one more time. I'm not going to go back 3 times with this one, and the reason is because, like I said before, I'm going to line the bag. I've decided right now it's going to be another tutorial to line the bag. There you go. I've just given myself another tutorial. Because see how I've gone all the way down there and woven it into that? If we do a lining, the lining will be sewn up the top. There's your part where we wove it into, or there. It's going to be sewn up the top. So even if it comes undone, it'll be stuck inside the lining and you won't see it. But it won't come undone because we weave in so much. All right, so the same with this. I'd like to weave them in. I say we weave them in now, get them out of our hair, and we don't have to worry about them. And the only one we need to worry about is the very last one. And this one's a little tricky because this one is on the outside of the bag, okay? But we're going to find a little place somewhere where you can stick your thread in, but towards the bag. Whoops, towards the inside of the bag, if that helps. It was too long. All right, and pop it right inside the inside of the bag. So there you go. Don't pull too tight. You're going to need that opening later to stick your hook in, your crochet hook in. Now, since this is inside the bag, you can now weave it in any direction that you like, because no one will see it. It's inside the bag. Just make sure you're weaving in and out, and that you're not just putting it through sections. Whoops, that felt a bit thick for me. I know, that's okay. All good. All right, there you go. Cut it. We'll feel much better when they're all done, won't we? Okay. All right. So that one there, we're going to do this one and this one. Actually, what I might do, I'll do them off air, and same with you. Do them off air, and we'll meet you up once they're all woven in. All right, my ends are all woven in. Okay, we're going to lay the bag out like that. This is the front of the bag. It's facing us. All right, what's going on there? It's pulling a little bit there. I don't know why. Here we go. Okay, front of the bag, the top handle of the bag. Now, we are going to do half double crochets here, all the way around the handle of the bag, back to here, turn, and I'll show you the turn later, and then half double crochet all the way across to the other side of the bag. All right, so for now, it's the final area, guys. We're almost done. Right, see that last double crochet that you did? I'm lying. Try half double crochet, my mistake. There. You're just going to put your hook through the stitch as though you hadn't finished that half double crochet. Would have paid if we had another thread just dangling off there, and we could have used that, but it wasn't long enough. Pull a loop through. We're going to weave this end in later so that we can tighten that loop up, because if we chain it, we're going to leave like a space there, and we don't want to leave a space. We just want to keep going. What we're going to do, and just be careful when you do this part, because you haven't chained, this is not very strong, okay? And it may come undone. In fact, you might want to hold it with that hand while you're doing this bit. Just hold it there. All right, and now we're going to do our normal yarn over hook, pop it in that very first double crochet you find, and then just pull up a loop. And there's your three chains on. Gosh, I'm making mistakes here. 3 loops on the hook, and just pull through all 3. Okay, so you're not going to be crocheting the one at the back. You're just going to go right through to this, because we are going around our piece. Next one. Oh, this is a lot easier than going through the both of them too, isn't it? It's a lot quicker. So we're just doing our half doubles all the way around until you get to not here, but here. This is where it gets fiddly. You are going to put a half double in there. Okay? There. Now you've got, this is your bag handle. You're just going to put a half double right in that gap you see there. And this is what's going to keep your bag strong, or make your bag stronger. There. And then a half double right into the next loop afterwards. You have closed up that handle. Okay? And then go half doubles in to every other stitch around your rectangle. So your rectangle is getting a second layer of half doubles, which will be in sync. Might be a little bit bigger than our the rest of our bag, okay? But it'll be in sync or close to being in sync with the rest of the bag. So if you look at the rest of the bag, it's quite thick there, just that top layer, and so's that. All right. All right. I hope we don't run out of, look at our blue. I hope I don't run out of blue. I'm still playing Yarn Chicken. Oh dear. I play Yarn Chicken in most of my tutorials because a lot of times I'm using leftover yarn from the stash for all of the tutorials. So what I want you to do before we're finished here, and that when you get to the corner here, you've got your 3 half doubles in the corner. There's your 1, and into that very second one you need to put 3 half doubles. So you go 1, 2 and 3. It only because it gives you the corner. You need to continue with the corner, okay? So a half double into the next stitch and then the next. So when you get to the corner, make sure you do your 3 in that corner there, and the rest is okay. You don't need to do 3. You just get up to there and meet me up, okay? All right, we've got to the part where we are at our next corner there, or our next edge. It's not really a corner, is it? It's kind of like an edge. Okay, our next bag handle edge. So I've popped the half double in there, and we're going to put a half double in there. It looks a bit loose this side, but it's just the way I crocheted it, so don't panic too much. We may have put one in here, right there. Whoops. So a little loose there and a little tight here, not doing well at all. Okay, there you go. There, and one in there. So you're actually putting 3 across here, okay? Doesn't matter if you haven't, as long as you keep at least 2 there, it gives it strength, so your handle won't break. And we're just almost towards the end of this section here. I'll show you what you do in a minute. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm really worried about my yarn chicken. I think it's going to win. Oh dear, I hope not. Okay, so now we're here. That is the front of the bag. We still have to put half double crochets on there. Now I wouldn't normally, but I want to keep it in sync with the rest of the bag. Okay, so we're going to put a half double in there. Even though we shouldn't, we will. It'll strengthen it a little bit more. Then we're going to put a half double in that half double crochet. A little bit tight, a little bit on the side there, but it's there. Okay, then we're going to put a half double in that stitch right there. Yep, right there. And then we're going to put half double in every stitch until you get to, because now we'll turn the bag around. Now we're at the, I'll show you where we're up to. We're at the front of the bag now. So you are going to put a half double in every stitch until you get to there, and then wait for me there. Okay, we are near the end. This is the best part, guys. This is the part where we get to lock up and weave in all ends. Okay, so we're going to put your hook in the last 3 stitches. Dearie me, I was talking about thunderstorms earlier. They've come back. They've come back. You may hear them. Okay, so there's a half double in there, and then there's a half double in your next double crochet, and this is where we need to see how we've tied that into place there. All right, we want to lock it into place. How are we going to lock it? That's it. We put a half double into that, oh sorry, into that next stitch right there. It's kind of outside the stitch, and I don't think we can get it through the chains. Oh no, we can. There you go. Half double into that chain there. Right, half double into the actual half double from that row of half doubles. There, whoops, don't lose it like I just did. So your half double into there. Did I forget to weave in? Oh, that's the wet end from the beginning, because we're actually right at the end. Yay. Okay, so all you need to do now is, because you're done, is slip stitch into the top of there. Pull it through real tight and pull a loop. Cut it, pull the loop, and you have now officially finished. Well, kind of finished. When I say kind of, you're sort of finished. You're almost done. It's a little bit wonky. It's okay. Just needs a good wash and a good straighten out. Okay. Okay. Now, officially, you're done. Officially. But you need to put buttons there. Weave in that end there. Put buttons there and put 2 buttons there. All right. Now, what buttons I hear you say? I haven't decided.